What is going on, everyone? Jeremy here from MTG headquarters. Going to do a little something different with this last opening, although if I see a Deck Builder's Toolkit, maybe I'll get it. Many of you have often asked when I open pre-release kits to then build a deck and see, how we might differ. Well, I have this Aether Revolt pre-release kit, and we're going to open it, and then we're going to do what I do at a sealed event. So maybe for the next sealed event, you'll get some tips and tricks, but it will also be good for any Aether Revolt sealed. So you're going to get your cards. Let's just, kind of approach this like it's a sealed event. So whatever the promo card is, I will not play it. Okay? So here we go. Our promo card is Life Crafter's Bestiary. Okay, fine. You're going to get your cards. 6 packs in any sealed event. That's how we play it. In this particular format, it's both blocks, so you'll get 4 of the new block and 2 of the old. The first thing I do is open the packs as quickly as I can. Get the the token and the land out of there. Take a brief look at them. I try to remain aware of any potential bombs. We have 2 rares in this pack, which are good. Hope of Girapur and a foil Yaheni. Okay. And this goes for, if you're at a GP or something like that as well. Oh my goodness, a Tezzeret. I'm liking what we see in black already. We'll see. It's early yet. You generally want to play your Planeswalkers, but we'll see. Here we have an inspiring statuary. Consulate Dreadnought. All right. And our Kaladesh packs. After I open these packs, the next thing I'm going to do is color, and then sort by color, and then converted mana cost. Spirebluff Canal is our rare there. Not normally the greatest thing to get in a sealed pool. There's a rare land, unless it happens to be on color. Which in this case, we don't know yet, right? I'm a Skyship Sovereign. Oh boy. Okay, well, we know we are going to see some pretty spicy stuff. We are not going to use the promo card to keep it more like a sealed environment, and then I'm going to begin sorting. Okay, I know this looks kind of messy, but this is just to help give you an idea. So over here I have my green separated or stacked up by converted mana cost, and each one of my other colors. Now, this pool to me is a little complex because I definitely want to play my Planeswalker and my other bombs, but I don't necessarily have really anything that great in blue, so I have an idea here. White definitely seems very light. Usually what I do is I'll look at a color and decide, okay, well, can it stand alone, or can it be, part of 2 colors that are strong enough? If the answer is no, then I say, is there any bombs from that I might want to try to splash for? So I'm looking at these white cards. I think I can rule white out pretty easily. Now, red I have a lot to work with, and when you're playing with sealed, you want options, right? So I think that stays in. Artifacts always stay in, especially in this format, because why wouldn't you leave them in? Now let's look at blue. We're very light in blue, but I do know I have that Tezzeret, but double negate, a metallic rebuke. We have some counter magic basically in here, but nothing crazy good. So I think I'm going to have to set blue aside as well and narrow it down here to what I think is going to be my best options. Now let's look at green. This green is actually okay, in terms of having nice low curve. Nice, really nice 2 and 3 drops. Very nice 2 and 3 drops. Not the big smasher you would want in green to play. The green is okay, but I would say not amazing. And then I want to look at our multicolored, our gold cards. And here we have Tezzeret's Touch, which is enchant artifact, and its base power and toughness is 5/5 in addition to other types. That seems pretty good. 2 Renegade Ralliers, which would be great in a green-white Revolt deck, but we already know we've rolled that out. And an Unlicensed Disintegration, which would be great in our red-black. And a Tezzeret. So when I look at this, I am thinking black-red, splash blue. Why would I splash blue? Well, because it's only for 2 cards, but I think very good. We have the Spire Bluff and a Spire of Industry, which will both give us access to the blue mana that we would need to cast the Planeswalker or the Tezzeret's Touch. And, you know, I think Tezzeret's worth splashing, right? Create a colorless artifact token named Ethereum Cell with tap sacrifice artifact. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. -2 gets plus X. -X, so you can use it to pump a creature. You can use it to kill a creature. Where X is the number of artifacts you control. And his ultimate is also very good. So what I'm thinking is red-black artifacts. There are several artifacts that we just know we're going to play. Maybe Renegade Map. Hope of Gearpeer, 1 mana flyer. Sacrifice until next turn. Target player who is dealt combat damage by Hope of Gearpeer can't cast non-creature spells. I mean, obviously it'd be great in Commander. A 1/1 flying for 1 seems fine to play though. A Consulate Dreadnought. Again, crew 6. If I have something to automatically crew that would be great. Prophetic Prism, maybe for more fixing. We have a Puzzle Knot. I'm kind of looking at Inspiring Sanctuary. Non-artifact spells you cast have Improvise. Maybe want to play that. Mobile Garrison. Yeah, that seems pretty good, maybe. Fast Monitor seems okay. We definitely have... Oh, yeah, and well, really just the Sovereign for sure has to be played. I'm actually going to go through the black a little bit. So we have this 1/1 that comes in and gives a creature -1, and maybe. Harsh Scrutiny, very good card. Aether Poisoner, 1/1 Death Toucher, also very playable. Resource Return, maybe. Gifted Aetherborn with Death Touch and Lifelink, absolutely. Emberall Bruiser. Our black is very strong. Die Young for nice little removal. We have Yahenni. If we have any cards that give us control of opponent's creatures, they become a removal outlet as well. Give something indestructible, maybe. Cruel Finality. Target creatures -2/2 till end of turn. Scry 1. That seems playable. Fortuitous Find, again, that's possibly something we want to play. 2/2 flyer for 2. I mean, if we were playing Revolt, great. Daring Demolition, very good. Unconditional removal. So let's say our black is very strong. Let's take a look at what's going on in red. Spark of Creativity. Ruinous Gremlin, some artifact removal. Wrangle. Gain control of target creature with power 4 or less. Untap the creature against haste till end of turn. So maybe I want to play that with Yahenni. Okay. Reckless Fireweaver. Cathartic Reunion. Maybe for some card draw. Chandra's Pyro Helix. That's definitely playable. This Emberall, maybe. Deal 2 damage by sacrificing an artifact. Reckless Racer. First strike. Destructive Tampering. Our red is not that great, but I think it's the best combination when we also throw in that we can play Unlicensed Disintegration, Tezzeret's Touch, and Tezzeret's Schemer. Tezzeret the Schemer. So I'm going to step away here for another second, and we're going to see what kind of deck I can put together with this. Okay, well, this deck actually could be built, I think, a couple different ways. It has both an aggressive and a more stay back, play back, passive kind of build to it. And so I tried to be somewhat down the middle with the initial build, but I think the sideboard should make it really flexible. So I'm going to play the Hope of Gear Pure in the 1-drop area, as well as Harsh Scrutiny, right? I think that seems pretty good. I'll play 1 Prophetic Prism, card draw, mana fixing, an Invigorated Rampage. I was kind of on the fence about this one, but I feel like at its core, this deck is like a 2-drop, 3-drop beatdown deck. We have the Gifted Aetherborn, Embrawl Bruiser. Now, again, this is kind of like an artifact sub-theme. Die Young is something that I still would think about subbing out. I mean, it's fine to clear. If you're going to try to just kill, smash face, you do have to be able to clear the way. Reckless Fireweaver, again, really more for the... it does block well, but it also has that sub-theme where every time an artifact comes into play, it deals 1 damage. Weldfast Monitor. Here we have something that's 3/2. You can pay 1 to get Menace. It's an artifact. It's all sorts of things. The glare is real. I'm going to play this Mobile Garrison up front because of the untap thing with when it attacks, and it's a 3/4. I don't know if that's the right move, but that's what my gut says, that I might enjoy that extra synergy there. More 3-drops. We have Tezzeret's Touch. And again, I think the short answer in this deck would be just not splash blue, but I think you generally get rewarded for being a little extra greedy and sealed. So that's what I'm going to do. And we have Unlicensed Disintegration. Very good. Unconditional removal. That will also deal 3 damage to the controller if I have an artifact in play, which will be highly likely with this build. I'm playing Yahenni, Undying Partisan. Very good. 2/2 that gets a counter every time an opponent's creature dies. Now I have lots of spot removal, so Yahenni could get very big. I did think about playing cards like Wrangle. I only had 1 Wrangle to take a creature, attack, and then destroy it. So this is on my list of possibles for this deck. I didn't play it at first, but maybe I would play it as a sideboard card. Cruel Finality, more removal. Embrawl Gear Smasher, again here, sacrifice an artifact. It deals 2 damage to each opponent, so this would be great because I have ways to make Thopters. I have other artifacts that are part of this deck that late game, one of the problems with being real aggressive is that your opponent will oftentimes just stabilize, and then you can't finish them off. Well, I can start wasting my own artifacts to do that. Here we have Reckless Racer, 2/3 that allows you to loot, so I don't mind that. And we have this 3/3 for 3 with haste. Again, this creature doesn't really fit the archetype of the deck and is swappable for sure. And then the 4-drop, I am playing Tezzeret. I have enough in artifacts to make him worth it, I believe. And his -2 ability is absolutely great. You can +1, and then you can -2 3 times before he dies. So I think he's very strong. Daring Demolition, just straight removal, destroy target creature or vehicle, which is very nice. We have the Sky Sovereign. Of course, you play the Sky Sovereign. Very, very good. We have the Sly Requisitioner, 5-drop 2/2, which is not great, but it has Improvise, so we can get out there cheaper. But also, whenever a non-token artifact you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 color servo artifact creature. Again, the synergies, I could sacrifice my own artifact and get a token out of it, and also trigger the end of the battlefield, triggers to deal the damage, all sorts of things I can do. The Scavenger, 6 mana, 4/6 is just kind of a big body, but also will help me with some recursion if I want to bring back my Skyship or something like that. I can bring an artifact back. Fen Hauler, same thing here. I have so many artifacts that I might be able to cast this 7-drop 5/5 for maybe 3 mana and a couple of artifacts, so that could be pretty good. And in terms of mana, I'm actually going to just play straight red-black mana, but with 1 copy of Spire Bluff Canal and 1 copy of Spire of Industry. I only splashing 2 blue mana symbols in the whole deck, and I also have the Prophetic Prism to get my blue mana as well, should I need it. I think that's 3 sources for that. It seems pretty good. So I would go 9 swamps, 8 mountains, higher on the swamps end because I have a lot of double black. Daring Demolition's double black and a 4-drop, but I also have a double black in the 2-drop. The Gifted Aetherborn, just like the Vampire Nightwalk. So, would I, if I, in between games, would I bring in Invigorate or Rampage, or drop that out for something like Wrangle? Some cards that were on the bubble for me was Inspiring Statuary, Fortuitous Find, Chandra's Pyrohelix, very good card. I think I probably make room for that. Aether Poisoner seems really good if I'm back on my heels. Nice little blocker. 1/1 Death Touch still kills your 8/8. But this deck has a lot of sideboard options. So if I'm up against another really aggressive deck, I can swap in some more removal to stabilize. Thought about playing Council and Dreadnought, but I didn't have anything to just turn it straight into a creature, so that didn't make sense. But I don't know. This is the deck I would roll with. Do I think it's amazing? No, but I do think it's an 8 out of 10. It's definitely an A- in my opinion, or B+. I'll go B+. For a sealed pool. I mean, the power level is an A, right? I have several rares and mythics in this deck, so the power, 2 mythics in a single deck that do have some synergies seems pretty good. I don't know. That's how I would build this deck. Let me know. Give me your feedback in the comment section down below. I would love to hear how you would have built this deck. And before you leave, if you were entertained, if you learned anything, if you overall had a good time, make sure you hit that thumbs up button before you leave right below the video. It helps new people find the channel, helps me know you made it to the end. And I overall just really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.